Welcome to Brain Vision.
So in this problem, we have two wires that are going into the page here. And wire 1, we say is at the origin, and then wire 2 is a distance d away from that, still along the x-axis. And we're told that they have current going through them in the opposite direction from each other, and that wire 1 has twice the current of wire 2. So I've just sort of chosen then that I'm going to say wire 1, the current is going into the page, and then wire 2, the current's coming out of the page. And then we can say that wire 1 has a current of 2I, and then wire 2 just has a current of I. And so we want to find then for some arbitrary point that is a distance x away from wire 1, what the magnetic field will be there. So if it's a distance x away from wire 1, and the wires are separated by a distance d, that means it should just be a distance of d minus x from wire 2. So now we just want to find what the magnetic field at that point will be. And so this should just be the magnetic field from wire 1, and then plus the magnetic field from wire 2. But I always like to have these b values just be positive numbers and then add in negative signs if we need. And so looking here with the right-hand rule, we can see both for wire 1 and wire 2 at this point in the middle, it looks like it should be making a magnetic field in the negative j-hat direction as I've written it. So as I've written it here, this is kind of, we have b1 plus b2, and then it'll turn out both of those are negative numbers. But I just like not to have to worry about the sign in the middle. So I'm going to just say this is minus b1 and then minus b2. So for each of those now, we just want to treat those as the magnetic field from a long wire in the z direction. So that's just going to be negative mu naught, and then times the current for wire 1. So that'll be 2I. And then over 2 pi times the distance away, so just x for wire 1. And then for wire 2, we're going to have a minus again, and that'll be mu naught, just I this time, and then over 2 pi, and now the distance is d minus x. So d minus x there. And so, this is an answer now, but we can probably simplify this a little bit more here. So we can factor out the mu naught and the pi and the I. And so we could write this as negative mu naught I over 2 pi. And then we'd have that times just 2 over x, and then plus 1 over d minus x. And so for the direction, we know this is in the vertical direction here. And then we know it's also going to be pointing downwards. So since we have this negative sign here already, that means we want to say this is just in the j-hat direction. So it'll be some negative value in the positive j-hat direction. So overall in the negative j-hat direction.